Hey, what's going on? So we got a GE top load wash machine. The customer had his lock replaced before, but they had a problem and somebody snatched it up. So we're here to replace the lock. Hope to show you how to replace the lock. You're gonna need a lock, part number right there. I have a link in the description where you can not only subscribe, but click on that link and purchase the lock. Tools that you probably gonna need is a 1/4-inch nut driver, screw a 1/4-inch nut driver, Phillips head, and more probably a flat tip. So let's get started. First thing first, unplug it. And you're gonna see in the back of this wash machine, right in that hole, you're gonna see a 1/4-inch nut driver right there. There's one on that side, and there's one on this side. We're gonna take that up and we're gonna stop right there. All right, right back. All right, I got the two screws out. One on this side right there, and one on the other side. Now all you gotta do is step back, and you just kind of like push that back just a little bit. Push that back. You see how that just comes up. As you can see, it was a channel that it was sitting in right there. So you're just pushing it back. You could just kind of sit this back just a little bit like that. It ain't going nowhere. And now we got the lock. This is the wire for the lock. So I'm gonna find the connector for that wire, and I'm just gonna loose the connector off the control board. There's a little tab on the side of that lock. Tab. I'm pushing that tab in my index finger, and just pull that, and then pull that down. Once you get that wire connected, you can kind of just push it in there. Okay. As you can see, this been taken apart before. The customer told me that, so there's usually a screw right there. It's gonna be a 1/4-inch bolt. There's one right here. This one's still in here. So just move this capacitor out your way, and you can get to that bolt. Use your nut driver. And take that bolt out. One on that side and one on the other side. Take them both out. That side is already missing, and we're gonna take this side out. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, now I got that bolt out. It's usually two. Again, that one was not here. Alright, so now that the bolt is out, this top is ready to come up. All you gotta do is, I'm leaning, pulling it up like this, and I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna basically bring the top forward a little bit, and then I'm gonna lift it up. Watch this. Alright, so I basically lifted the back up, and I slid it forward a little bit so I can get it off those clips. There's two clips right there. I was trying to get it off. You see that one? That one came out a little bit, so all you gotta do is squeeze it back together or get a pliers. Squeeze it back together. You see? There it goes. Now it's in there. Alright? So now the lid is pretty much up. Alright? There go my lock right there. My latch right there and the wires for it. Alright? Give me a second. Alright, so we're about to take this switch off. They got a little clip right here that it's holding to. I don't know if it's in the right spot. Yours might be in that hole right there. But you can put these little clips down with the pliers. The new one comes with it. So I'm just gonna sit this switch down in here. Push it back down in the hole. As you can see, I'm doing it with my pliers. There you go. Now it's in there. When you lift the lid, inside you got this little clip. That's what's wrong with this. You can see what's wrong. It's broken. It's just barely. As you can see, it's barely hanging on. So this little plastic piece comes out. All you gotta do is, where that gray piece is at, take a flat tip screwdriver. Try to do it with one hand. Flat tip screwdriver with your finger and pull that back. So that way this gray piece comes out. As you can see, this thing been broken. So all you gotta do is take this, pull this back, and that comes out. If we got the switch, they really jacked this switch up. this little tab right here, you take you a little flat tip screwdriver or something, push that tab down just a little bit, push it down just a little bit. There you go, you saw my switch just fall in. In real life, you're gonna put that tab down, you're gonna slide the switch that way and then it drop down. Alright? Supposed to lock in place, but you can see that the switch broke right here. They snatched it off right there, that broke. And that broke. Let's grab the new one, okay? So you got the new switch out the bag, right? You're gonna slide it in. This side gonna go in first. You're gonna push it that way, and then you're gonna hook this side up and slide it back. Watch how I do this. Slide this. Watch again. I'm gonna come right here. Push this side in first. You see how I got the right side down a little bit? Put the left side in first. Come on, focus. Let me make sure I'm focused on this shit. Y'all can see this. Trying to hold this and do it with one hand. Alright, here we go. Put this side in first, the left side in first. Then lift the right side up, and then slide it back to my right, and it's gonna lock in place. That's how that. Well, that switch is simple, right? Now I'm just gonna route my wires back in there. I got a hole right there. I'll put that back in that hole right there. See that? And slide my wire back in the hole in the back. Hey, once I route the wire through that hole, all you gotta do is sit here and push it up. It's gonna click in place. There you go. You got another hole, another one for this hole. Shove that in there too. Alright, so it's pushed in there, it's pushed in there. All this is fine. It ain't going nowhere. It's down. You can go ahead and sit this down. Get you a cover. I like the white one. I'm gonna go with the white one. And all with this, all you gotta do is, you see the two holes, one right there and one right there. All you gotta do is sit it in here. Just like this. That's it. And then drop it down. It's gonna snap in. There you go. Just snapped in place. You see how it's flushed? Alright. Now just go in reverse. Stick your lid back on there. Nice, it go back on there. Push it in there. Push it in there. Right there. And then watch this. Push it down. Click it in place. See it? In place. Put the lid down. Put your two screws, screw back in there. Screw back in there. You may have to line this up, back, push it back and forth to line it up. Put the screw back in there. We're gonna hook our wire back up to our control board. Let's do that. Look what happened. I want y'all to see this, because this can sometimes happen. I see it happen a lot to my technicians. Do you see how my hose popped off? Make sure this hose goes back on that. That happens a lot of times when we change these switches. So I got my wires, hook my wire back up. Alright, I'm gonna put my pressure hose out. Gotta give it some slack. Let's put my pressure hose. See how it's back on there? Put my screws back in. And we ready to rock and roll. Hoses, everything hooked back up. Sit this back on. Go to the back and bring it forward. Go to the back, bring it forward. Put your two screws back in. Alright, once I got the screws back in on the back, screws on that side and the other side, one thing you cannot forget is you gotta change out your latch. The bag comes with a couple different ones. I'm gonna keep the gray one in there because it's already, like I said, this was changed before. But yours not gonna be, yours gonna be the one that's moving around. You gotta change it. You see the two Phillips screws? You're gonna lose those two screws. Let's just show you, let's demonstrate. You're gonna lose these two screws, it's gonna slide out. Take the old one off. you're gonna take the old one off. It's gonna look like that. You're gonna grab the new one out the bag. It's gonna look like this. Grab a new one. And you see the little indentation where my thumb is at? That will slide right there. Push it right there. You see that? It goes up in there. Cause the screw holes behind the gray. Put your 2 screws, the same screws, put them back in. Alright? That's important. I promise you it's not gonna work with the original one. It's still in there. You gotta change it. Okay? Well, that's all I got. I'm gonna put this screw back in. I'm gonna fire her up and I'm gonna test her out. I hope you enjoy my videos. If you can you please like and subscribe? Check the links in the description. I will have the lock part number in the description. All right? Talk to you later.